You mentioned your vision and how your data drives or supports your mission. Um, I really want to discuss the topic of building a vision or a mission for an organization. But there's a question I want to ask Henry when, and this is something I think comes up a lot, and you can let me know from your perspective when you're speaking to other leaders, if you're seeing positive change in that space, or maybe if other leaders might be lagging behind. But a lot of times, technical leaders will talk about their data. If we're looking at network performance or security threats and all these different things, and try to get non-technical leaders to understand our data so that they can understand why we're doing certain things or why we want to do certain things. But to Superintendent Hughes' point, if that data is not given context based on this is our goal, this is how this data aligns with our goal, it may not be clear what that data's value is. So, from your perspective as a technical leader, how can you take the data that you get, the information that you have, the things that are important to you, and help others to understand what the value is of that, what it actually means from the perspective of the organization?
I think that when I'm actually going to implement or give a vision for technology, I always have to think back of why are we doing this?
Mhm.
Why do we want to implement a certain technology? And what I have to do within myself is figure out, is this lining up with the district's initiative? Are we doing something to help curriculum or support curriculum in the classroom? Are we doing something to make it easier for students and teachers to be able to get online, to be able to teach, to be able to learn? So that's one of the big things that drives a different technology. I will say there's things that we actually have to do that aren't necessarily things that we'd like to do, and that's cybersecurity. There's things that we have to be cognizant of to make sure that we try to keep the bad actors out of our environment.
Mhm.
So that's the things where we try to do things in security, but also notifying leadership on why we do it. It's not
Mhm.
that we're just implementing cybersecurity, but why did we do that? Why are we, sending out campaigns to staff members uh, through their emails so that they can understand and be aware of the people that are trying to influence them and have them give up their accounts and things of that nature.
Uh, do
Saeed,
you?
may I put an
Yeah, absolutely.
addendum onto that?
Mhm.
Very powerful. What Henry and you have kind of put in motion here. What we really have to do is make sure that the IT data is translatable and
Mhm.
Yeah,
to actual impact data.
yeah,
Mhm.
So it's not just, oh, we put these many computers in schools, but how did that impact? What was the impact of that number? Okay, that we can say, hey, but we're 1 to 1. Okay, one to
Mhm.
one means what? How does it translate into impact data that culminates into success? And when it does culminate into success, how can we measure it?
Mhm.
How do we measure that success? Okay. So we have to really work collaboratively. And that's why Henry Martin is on my cabinet, 8 leaders who run my district,
Mhm.
because we want to know that IT is able to communicate and measure everything they do into a data point that translates and can be articulated into impact data. How have what we done by IT, which is normally quote unquote behind the scenes, making the inner workings work, but how does
Mhm.
that translate into the impact it has on success?
Yeah.